Hello, what is up, friends? My name is Kay, and welcome back to your Big Brother live feed recaps. Right now, we are in the middle of week 8 in the Big Brother house. Turner is HOH, and we thought it was going to be a straightforward week, but once again, all hell has broken loose. Just like last time Turner was HOH. Now, this recap is going to be intense and a little uncomfortable, but I got y'all covered. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, as I will be recapping Big Brother all season long. Now, let's begin. So, when we last left off, Turner had been crowned the new HOH, the After Party Alliance was in power, and plans were being put in place to backdoor Michael, who is obviously the strongest competitor in the house. Now, Turner didn't want Michael to have a chance to play in the veto comp as he is the veto king. So instead, he decided to put up Michael's two closest allies, Brittany and Taylor. This move is going to officially draw the line in the sand, as all three of these people are going to be extremely blindsided by Turner's move. Brittany and Taylor are both obviously super shook, and they're both really upset and crying over this. Turner's excuse is pretty much that this is all Joseph's fault, as Joseph had kind of threw everybody under the bus as he was evicted from the house.
It was Taylor, Michael, and Taylor, Michael, and Brittany they were a mini thing for leftovers.
Oh, easily. They're like locked and loaded. You can tell. Jasmine always used to say that. Like, you can tell.
This is technically true. Joseph did throw them under the bus a little bit, but the feeds were down for most of the week last week, so we'll never truly know what all Joseph said. For the moment, though, it looks like this new After Party Alliance is going pretty strong.
105 for sure.
Easily, not even no doubt. Because this week, one of them will be gone by the end of the week, and then it's going to be a 2v5, and I have. So with flying colors, we can make that happen, not even a problem. Between us, we have a shit ton of wins. We get Michael out, we like quadruple their competition wins. They have freaking like one.
Kyle is feeling very confident and comfortable in the game right now. So comfortable that he actually nonchalantly ends up telling Michael about how he exposed the entire leftovers to Terrance last week. Michael acts cool and doesn't really react, but you can tell on the inside he is pissed. So with all this mess and drama circulating, it is now time to play the veto. Turner is really hoping that Michael doesn't get picked to play in the veto, as that would really tank his plans for the week. But of course, as luck would have it, Michael does get selected to play in the veto. Things are going to get even worse for Turner, as Michael is going to go on and win, and now has his 5th veto win of the season. That is so mind-blowing. It's absolutely insane. Michael is about to beat the record for most comp wins in Big Brother history. Absolutely wild. Of course, Michael is planning on using the veto to save his bestie Brittany, but he's not just gonna stop there, because now the line has been drawn in the sand, it's war, and it's now time for Michael to get his revenge. Now, if you remember, a few weeks ago when the leftovers were still going strong, Kyle started to get a little bit paranoid about the fact that all of the black and brown people in the game could possibly be working together.
So I think Monte, Joseph, Taylor, C, Terrance, Indy, Jasmine, three easy people. Say one of them win HOH. I guarantee those three get brought into the same room. They share very common purposes for being in this game. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, maybe, like, I'm honestly a little worried that they piece that together. Yeah, and that's my biggest fear right now. That possibility of those 6 with that background. I mean, it looks very similar to the cookout with a very diverse background.
He kind of just assumed that because the cookout did a good job last year, that this year everyone who wasn't white or American would kind of band together. Even though there was literally 0 evidence of this happening and tons of evidence of this not happening at all.
We don't want a scenario where it's Taylor, Monte, Terrance, Jasmine on one side and you, me, Michael, Turner on another side. That's not the kind of game we want anyone to assume we're playing, because it isn't.
I know. The only thing that I can say, I agree 100%. Oh, it's just such a fine line after last season, because it was a dominating force that was brought together because of some outside factors.
We just can't assume that that would be the case, though.
No.
I mean,
Kyle voiced these concerns to Michael and Brittany on multiple occasions and even implied that all the other house guests, aka all the White House guests, should stick together to go against the others.
I feel like we're kind of the silent majority in this alliance because Joseph is very loud, Taylor's very loud, Monte's very loud. Like, they're the three alpha personalities in this alliance. Like, you can't get bullied into doing what the best for them.
Yeah, it's really awkward and uncomfortable to talk about, but that was just Kyle's thought process at the time. And in my mind, this was really the start of the fall of Kyle's game. Kyle really should have stuck with Monte, Josie, and Turner, especially Monte, as Monte was super duper loyal to Kyle and the Pound. But unfortunately, it seems like Kyle was just more comfortable working with Michael because he looks like him. And that's really, really sad for Kyle because Michael is the most cutthroat bitch in this game, and Kyle's about to find that out the hard way. Michael and Brittany were very passive on this issue at first. They were obviously super uncomfortable and didn't want to work with Kyle, but they also didn't really want to go against him and take a hard stance either. They were really trying to play in the middle of the leftovers, which had a lot of people looking at them sideways. But now that they have officially been crossed, they want to expose Kyle. First, Michael and Brittany are gonna go to Taylor and Monte and tell them about all of this drama surrounding Kyle. Of course, the feeds were cut off during this entire conversation, so we didn't really get to hear any of it. But later on, we do see that Taylor and Monte are both extremely hurt by this, especially Monte, because Monte really thought that him and Kyle were cool. Later on, Michael and Brittany tell Alyssa, and we do get to hear some of this conversation.
It's like, where are you seeing that Taylor is linked with Monte, that Taylor is linked with Joseph? Because I'm not seeing that. Like, and then when he's, talking about, and then he brings up the cookout, and he's like, the cookout last year, they had this unifying goal, and I see a unifying goal, basically saying the people of color in the game have a unifying goal, and they're closer with the other people of color in the game, and they're going to turn on us and use them as numbers to get us out. So without saying the 5 white people need to stick together, he is saying us 5 need to stick together.
Later on, after that, Michael and Brittany are going to tell Turner with, of course, the hopes that Turner is going to put Kyle on the block.
Term I'm going to use, he never specifically used, but basically pitched to me an all-white alliance. Yes. And this is very uncomfortable, and I would never, ever in a million years make up this because,
yes, I know no one would make that up.
They're claiming that this isn't about strategy or the game, it's just about doing what's right. But we all know that the timing of all of this information is just a little bit too convenient for Michael and Brittany. Personally, I'm not surprised that Michael and Brittany waited so late to spill the beans about Kyle, and I'm not really surprised that they did it when it was most convenient for them, but I am just a little bit disappointed. Turner, of course, is super uncomfortable with all this information and does want to go ahead and put Kyle on the block, but at first he admits that he would prefer Taylor to go home just because Taylor isn't as close of an ally. Which is technically true, but kind of useless to say out loud because I don't think anybody is going to vote to keep Kyle at this point. But eventually, later on in the day, after Turner has gotten a chance to process everything, he does agree that Kyle should be the one to go this week.
It kind of freaks me out that if Kyle was pitching that with my name involved, what the hell are you doing? I don't want any part in that. No, that gives me the ick, as Alyssa would say, huge ick.
Right now, everybody knows about this Kyle drama, including Kyle himself. Kyle spent a long time in the DR yesterday, and he spent all afternoon alone. I think he knows his game is over and done with at this point. Of course, I'm interested to know what you all think of this fiasco. I know it's a messy situation, but respectful comments are always welcome. I'll be watching around to see if anything else changes or if any more bombshells are dropped. But until then, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.